Today's video was supposed to be about conservative podcaster Liz Wheeler being caught in a lie.
That Attorney General Pam Bondi told us that she had the Epstein files on her desk, or she said she had the client list on her desk, and then she didn't.
But I suppose Nintendo releasing an unfinished handicap basketball robot game is really the same thing. Drag Drive, or is it Drag X Drive, Drag and Drive, Drag Cross Drive, Drag Verse Drive from Nintendo, the latest game for the Nintendo Switch 2, and the first to really implement those brand new mouse controls. It's pretty simple. You are playing wheelchair basketball with robots, but we're not actually going to use the W word. Players are forced to use the new mouse controls that's dual Joy-Con 2s drug on a surface. Now look, I am very receptive to new control schemes. I've been riding with Xbox for over 23 years, getting a little bored of just using dual analog sticks. The trigger's nice at a time, but a lot of spamming A to get through dialogue. Controls in Drag Drive, as I'm calling it, are strangely intuitive and immersive. You feel like, for lack of a better word, you are in a wheelchair trying to play basketball. And I suppose that makes the game adequately frustrating. You have very little way to jump. In fact, you don't press A to jump. You actually grab each wheel and try to thrust your way up. And while you play Drag Drive, you're going to look like the good doctor. There's a litany of tricks you can do, and by that I mean really about 4. Spin, dunk, hop, and the ever-elusive backflip. Spent over an hour trying to pull this off during the online beta known as the Global Jam, only to unlock it when I purchased the full game, which at 1.3 gigabytes is the same size as that online beta demo, and it has about 5% more content. Beyond wheelchair 2v2 or 3v3 basketball, you also have a few races you can do, basically tutorial type activities. Oh hey, there's a ball that needs to be rebounded, see if you can be the first to get it. Master the art of using your not quite a wheelchair, and well, look at this, I think I have a world record. Complete the activities, unlock a few accessories, except I was holding 3 gold rings and I didn't get the helmet that I should have got. But don't worry, the game has other glitches. Did you sit idle during a game for 5 seconds? You're out. But don't worry, a quarter of the time you're gonna get kicked anyway. Just like in the Global Jam demo, you have games that are about a quarter long. No way to strategize whatsoever. There's not even a "I'm sorry," you can just spam cool or no problem. The lack of character continues with no announcer at all, but you will want the sound on because it kind of foretells if the ball got stolen. Because unlike traditional basketball games, you don't have a sweeping view of the court. And I kid you not, within the week that people will still be playing this, the strategy will devolve to just run coast to coast on the inbound and dunk. Or hell, of the 3 body types you got over here, it seems like the center cannot miss a short-range basket. It's also weird how most of these shots go in drawing iron, like it's a scripted event more than physics. Being as adroit with sarcasm as I am, I know it can be difficult for you to pick up when I am being sincere, but I genuinely was looking forward to Drag Drive. I absolutely invite new ways to play games. But when Nintendo does the bare minimum, as displayed here, I cannot recommend the title. I kid you not, if you played the online demo last weekend, you have seen all this game has to offer. There isn't a ranked mode. There is no way to assemble a team and bring them into a public match. Supposedly this was made by a team of 18. I would have guessed 6 because we actually were treated to a 3v3 game between the devs, and they're pulling stellar moves that you and I will never see done in a game. So that pre-release hyping exhibition may as well have been the World Championship at EVO. That isn't to say that the core concept isn't strong. Forcing players to use Joy-Con 2s in dual mouse mode is inventive, and you can't get that experience anywhere else. Now, sitting at a table, I was getting a little bit of carpal tunnel. I found that you could use your legs, but you're going to want to have some pretty tight pants on. You don't want a lot of bumps, but largely the controls didn't fail me. Eventually, I decided to lean over a expansive cardboard box, and that worked a little bit better. So you have no personality in the music, the characters, or the setting. Screams indie game, except there is online co-op play, but you cannot invite friends to a team and then play a public match. No, you are going to probably have a friend on your team and you could play against each other, fill the rest of the squad up with bots. I'm not saying Nintendo needed to concoct a story of Mario and friends getting in a tour bus accident and being in wheelchair rehab, but various types of courts with power-ups would have been welcome. I mean, look, we are not playing legitimate murder ball over here. We're still catching air and dunking. So why not lean into some of the abilities of these robots? Because as is, there is even less of a defensive strategy in Drag Drive than modern NBA games. You are not getting up in the air high enough to block a shot, and the one time I kinda grabbed a block rebound or something, it looked cool, but it's more luck than skill. Good luck playing man-to-man. You cannot keep up with the guy who has the ball, and stripping it from him requires a head-to-head collision with a little bit of speed, which is easier said than done because the ball is not passed in bounds. You have to actually wheel somebody under the basket after a score, and then people are just going to take off. There's no incentive to pass. In conclusion, I have never encountered a game more failed by its presentation. A core concept with unique controls, utterly foiled by doing as little as possible to make it a complete package. Exclusive to the Nintendo eShop at $20, Drag Drive could have been a fabled demo. Even if restricted to being included with a Nintendo Switch Online membership, players really could have rallied around this game. Drag Drive could have carried the goodwill of a small but vehement fan base. But in its current state, of which I'm not expecting any kind of quality of life adjustments, this isn't games as a service. We're not gonna get Rick and Morty in a wheelchair. I cannot in good faith recommend anyone purchase this game. For those of you who participated in the Global Jam, that was peak Drag Drive. And had you missed it, my condolences. Because Drag Drive is a perfectly kneecapped concept. I give it a 5.0 out of 10.
You just watched a video from my son. He's about 40 and lives in my basement, ladies. So subscriber and notify the bell for ringing.
Okay, I said what you wanted me to say. Now do the goddamn dishes.